Oh man, I am excited for what I have in front of me. You already know what it is from the title and the thumbnail. I worked really hard to get these. It's been a minute since I've been this stoked to open a pair of sneakers. Maybe since I got these, since I hit on these for retail off the sneakers app. This might be top most excited pair I've been to open. And it was because of the hard work I did to get them. I participated in the ISRU Summer Camp app challenges put out by Tom Sachs and the team at Nikecraft, and I had to work to get these. And so maybe there's more satisfaction in it. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna front. Part of it is that they're coveted. There's not a ton of them. They have a high retail value or aftermarket value on them already, so that goes into part of the excitement. But I would say the majority of it lies in that I like the look of the shoe, the aesthetic of the shoe, the spirit behind the shoe and the challenges, and that I earned them. But before I unveil the box and everything, please subscribe, watch my other videos, like, comment what you think about I'm going to talk about the price, what the challenge, fairness. I'm going to talk about the shoe. We're going to talk about lots of stuff. I'll put them on feet afterwards. So make sure you stick around for the whole video and comment on what you like. I would appreciate it. And without further ado, let's unveil the box. All right, there it is. I got these today, making the video the day I got them. It is September 19th, the official launch date of these, and that's when I received these from UPS. Had signature delivery required for these, so they pulled out all the stops. They didn't want these getting stolen, which is great. It's an expensive shoe. Come on, tight box. Sorry. See, this is a real unboxing here. No, we're not faking it. There's a packing slip in it, looks like. Yeah, or a receipt and packing slip. Yep, okay. Here's the box. Again, I know there's other unboxings out there on the online, so I appreciate you clicking on mine. But yeah, so here it is. Subscribe. One more plug to subscribe. You got the Nikecraft logo on the top, on the front. On the side, you have Mars Yard 3.0. Tom Sachs there, the artist, the sculpture artist and collaborator with Nike. If you don't know his work, check out his website, Instagram. He does a lot of eclectic art, sculpture, especially carpentry and space related. Nikecraft on the other side of the box. And here we go. These are the Nikecraft Mars Yard 3. So it's just Nike on there. You got the Nikecraft logo branding here. You got the Tom Sachs logo branding there. Mars Yard 3.0 branding there. But these are the Nikecraft Mars Yard 3s, 3.0s in natural and sport red maple sail. Love that maple colorway. Size 12. As a rule of thumb for me personally is if you have not tried on the shoe yourself, if you're unfamiliar with the sizing of the shoe, I always personally just go half size up. I don't play sports anymore, so none of this is like true performance shoes for me. I don't actually, do any. So if it's things slightly bigger or roomier, that's no big deal. What you can't do is go with a shoe that's too small. You just can't make it work. So if I don't know the sizing of the shoe, I always go half size up, and for the most part, it doesn't fail me. Sometimes shoes do get borderline, a little too slippy, a little too much room, but for the most part, you can't do anything about a shoe that's too small. So that's what I did. I'm more 11 and a half, but we'll see when I try these on at the end to see how going half size up serves me. On the inside, you got some text. What's funny is he calls his studio crew, his athletes. He refers to himself and his crew that works in his studio as athletes. And this shoe is to support them in their activities. And so, yeah, it's basically designed for working around the art studio and in meetings or anything that would take them through life. It's a multi-purpose shoe. All right, our first look. Wow, just take them in. On the inside of the box, you got the 10 Bullets logo that adorns a lot of his products and merch. Wow, I apologize. I'm gonna like sniffle throughout this. My like allergies are just like terrible right now where I'm at in Southern California. So apologies if I sound stuffed up. Bear with me. So right out of the box, this is just a beautiful, beautiful shoe. I mean, I think this is a lot of people's aesthetic. I know some out there are like they don't understand the hype, and like take the background of the shoe away. Just the shoe as itself. Pretend you could get this at Payless Shoes. I think this just alone, without knowing anything about it, is a good looking shoe. It's kind of like the Kill Shots to me. Like the Kill Shots are a mass produced J. Crew-esque shoe, and there's zero hype behind them, but I think it's a good looking shoe. Similarly, if I knew nothing about sneakers and someone was wearing these look dope. I mean, you got the nice earth tones plus the pop of red. Like, I think this is a dope looking shoe. All right, let's pull out the extra insoles. Comes with the cork insoles already inside the shoe, and then you get the like polyester mesh foam ones on the inside. We'll take a quick look at these. So most likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in. I love the look and the concept behind cork insoles, but I've worn sneakers and shoes with cork insoles, and it feels weird. It's not like, I don't know, it gets a little sweaty. Your foot kind of slides weirdly in it. So the cork, although aesthetically I think looks dope and really fits with the art studio theme and the carpentry and all that and the sculptures that they do there, it really fits. It's very on theme aesthetically to me. Practically speaking, because I will be wearing these, I'm not reselling these and I'm not putting these on ice. I'll be putting in these. Let me know which insoles you're going to be going with. But that's a look at the insoles. If you need to legit check if you're buying these off, not from retail, but like aftermarket secondary sources, this is what the insoles look like if you need to legit check. Well, here, I'll take these out so you can look at them. That's what the inside looks like. Here's the cork insole, maybe a little bit more cushiony than the polyester one. And it's got the contact points, more cushion, but that's because the cork is not as cushiony as this. So there's the differences, but I'm gonna take out these cork ones. Here's what the cork ones look like. And I'm gonna put in these. So yeah, here's what the inside looks like without the insoles. There you go. But everything these is related to kind of going to Mars, a NASA mission to Mars. Tom Sachs was actually commissioned by the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, who, is a partner of NASA, and they commissioned him as like the artist in residency for the Mars rover back in the 2010s, and that inspired, I think, the first shoe, actually. So he designed a shoe basically for the team, and then 500 pairs for the public. Now I'm going to go around, next part of this unboxing, I'm going to go around, point out all the different details of the shoes. We've already got through the insoles, but I will say Nike put out a great video with Tom Sachs. I'll link it in the description, where it goes through the history of the Mars Yard, and it goes through the evolution, the thought process, all the lore behind it. So that's a really great informational video. I highly recommend watching. It will have all the details that you'll need, better than I or other people can say in their videos. I'm not going to remember it all, but I'll hit on what I remember. But just go there for like, oh, how does this differ from the 1.0 to the 2.0 to the overshoe to this? Because this is the fourth iteration, really. Even though it's the 3.0, it's kind of, I don't know. Actually, if you watch the video, I don't know, there's like 5 iterations really over the course of just over a decade. There was the 1.0, the 2.0, the overshoe, and then there was the 2.5, which they did that contest to be a wear tester, and then this is the 3.0. So they have this cylindrical lacing, which is, I think, what was this, nylon? I think nylon laces. And they have a suede, this looks like a really short-haired suede mudguard and heel. And then this is open mesh polyester on the quarter and toe box. Now, I will say a couple things. I think it's really cool. They explain in the video that they go with the natural color materials because like everything again is based off the concept of you know, space wear and efficiency and durability and practical usage and utility. And so when you paint something or dye something, that adds weight, at least in space. So they kept all the dyeing and the colors to as minimal as possible and natural, and only the red highlights. Red is for, you know, actual purposes like, oh, you know, easily seeing pull tabs or branding. And so that's kind of where you get a little bit of this colorway, if you will, from, is just the natural colors of the leather, and the natural color of the polyester is white, or the sail color. So that's where that comes from. Oh, and one other thing, I will say I like the utilitarian fact of not having a panel or swatch or leather swoosh, but it does look cheaper. The spray on, the screen printed on swoosh. I think I would have liked aesthetically a patch for a swoosh, separate piece of fabric stitched over the top, but the stitching does cause weak points on the open polyester, would cause, you know, tear points, potentially add weight, add cost, add materials. So I like the utilitarian quality of the screen printed swoosh, but aesthetically, I think I would have preferred an actual swoosh. Now I think it was the 2.5, the wear tester version, and the 1.0. Those mid panels and toe box uppers, I really like those. The 1.0 in the video, he says, was this really cool like space age material called Vectran, super tear resistant, but they found with the bending of it, over 100 like folds would actually tear, even though it needed to be laser cut. To actually cut it, you needed a laser, but over the course of 100 folds and creases, it would break. So they moved away from that for the future versions, and in the wear tester version, the 2.5, they actually used what I think is a cool material, that microfilament mesh that they used in the Nike Reacts, and they used in some of the different foam shoes. Like, you remember the off-white Flyknit? It's not really Flyknit. They're the off-white runners, the pink ones, the black ones, and the white ones. That material was used on the mid panel and the upper, and I thought that was really good material to use. So I'm okay with the open polyester. Looks very breathable and lightweight, but I think that would have been my preferred material upper. But obviously they moved away from it for whatever reason. Maybe breathability. Here's the other shoe I'll show you. Here's the inside tongue. For legit checking purposes, they have Tom Sachs little like serial number there. Tom Sachs logo, Mars Yard 3.0, Nikecraft shoes, and it has the same text, I think, as on the box. One of the best things that I like about these is like this ankle liner. This leather ankle liner looks so sick, so cool. I don't know how about utilitarian it is. It's like, gets sweaty, discolors, gets gross. It's kind of, I don't know, but it looks cool. Now these, it's a combination of, I don't know, average weight. On one hand, it's very light. I think these are just over 16 ounces, so just over a pound. They're like a pound and a half. A lot of the weight comes from the outsole. So the outsole they made more durable. God, I wish I had my Vomeros, but previous iterations, the foam bottoms would just wear through. And I just did a wear review of my like Vomero 5s, and that foam just like, yeah, quickly wears through. So this is an all rubber outsole, as you can see, much more durable, but also then weighs heavier. And there you can see the carbon fiber shank for the what do you call this under your foot? Anyways, and then you have a TPU heel clip, TPU toe there, rubberized toe for extra protection, and this nice little maple color. I think this might be I don't know what's the maple color, but really like the durable outsole. This being like this thick rubber and tread will hopefully last a while, because I know most people are going to beat these into the ground. Very few lucky people got to double up on these. And obviously, if you have the money, you can double up. Okay, let's try these on. And as I try these on, I'll get into, what I thought of the challenge to get these. So you had to do, by the end, it started with just free throws on the app. You had to like record a picture or documentation that you did 10 free throws a day. Then like gradually things were added, like reading before bed, going, jogging or running or walking out 10 minutes and back. You had to make your own medicine ball and do medicine ball exercises. That's mine, made out of soup cans and bubble wrap and duct tape. There was a prompt to do output before input. Every day before you like turned on a screen or anything, you were supposed to create something, and I chose to draw. I got like some bonus points for this drawing, so that inspired me to work harder at my drawings. And so I put more effort into a lot of the later ones, and I had really fun doing this. I've been meaning to like draw each day or do some artwork each day, and this like actually got me to do it. So it was like, doing this challenge, like, the whole point was, break your habit, find your ritual. And, the whole point is like the reward is really all this stuff he's having you do. And it, the irony being, it really did, it's like kind of hokey, kind of cheesy, kind of cornballish, but it really did, provide benefits, like forcing me to like work out each day, forcing me to like do the thing I wanted, create art each day, was rewarding in itself. Now, obviously, if I didn't get the shoes, I'd be disappointed, but, I do have all this stuff, to show for it after the fact. After all this, I have a nice little run of sketches and paintings. I definitely was like keeping in shape for a bit, and I just, I worked, as you can see, put in work on these each day. And so, anyways. What else? Oh, they had to do push-ups to failure and do this wall drawing. So, had us jumping through hoops. Now, obviously, some people could kind of like fake the uploads, fake your work, and not show it. Just take pictures of whatever and say that you did your push-ups, say that you read each night, say that you ran out and back. So there's ways of fudging, and I'm sure the majority of the people fudge things here and there, but just having to keep up with the app, I think it was a good way of weeding out bots, like it's obviously an expensive endeavor to create your own app, have moderators, do upkeep. The app was always like crashing and bogged down, bugs, etc. They had moderators checking validity on posts and stuff. So very involved, a lot of upkeep. But, it is a way to make sure that these go to people who really wanted them. Now, a lot of you out there, I'm thinking, are going to say, well, I really wanted them, and I think it was, have your issues. It was too much for me to do. It's too much for me to do. I really wanted them. I couldn't keep up. But I'll just say, define how much you really wanted them. There's been sneaker drops here in LA that I've wanted, but when I like drive all the way there and see the line is like 3 city blocks around, I'm like, I just keep driving. Like, but at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I wanted them, but how badly did I really want them? Obviously, there's people who got there in line earlier, willing to wait it out, willing to find parking. So I get it that there's people out there who probably like, well, I wanted them a lot, but I mean, I don't know. You could have finessed the system. Definitely people did that and got these. I would just say this definitely was a way to ensure that the people who really, really wanted them got a pair, because everyone who basically uploaded 90% of the activities got a pair. And if you wanted them that bad to do that many activities for that many days straight, you know, you were rewarded. So I do, you know, if you wanted these shoes that bad, you put in the work, you got the reward. And, you know, maybe some people didn't get them right away. They're going to get the allocation restock which is cool, because I think, you know, they probably didn't make enough pairs for the demand. They were probably surprised by the amount of participation. And granted, again, you could kind of fudge participation. So who knows, like, who was, you know, what percentage was actually doing the challenges as they were supposed to. But either way, the amount of people utilizing the app to log entries was, I think, beyond what they had planned. So they did the delayed allocation method, or the, you know, made to order thing. And I think that's cool too. So people won't be disappointed eventually. You know, they put in the work, they're gonna get a pair, just maybe later than they had planned. So these look amazing on feet. I haven't stood up in them as far as sizing goes. I do have a little bit of room, but I am not complaining that I went a half size up. I think the way to go is true to size or half size up. I wouldn't size down. I think I heard or saw somewhere that like the 2.0s, people said you could size down. I would not. I would recommend going true to size, or if there's a severe price difference or you like extra roomy shoes, go half size up. So these half size up for me, I can tell that I have a little bit of room, but not too much. This is perfect. These are absolutely perfect. They look absolutely fire on feet. I'd also say too, to people, going back to people being disappointed didn't get them. He said in that video that I was talking about that they made with Nike, he's already working on the 4.0s. So next time around, how badly do you want it? If you want it bad enough, participate in whatever shenanigans they're going to have us do to get the 4.0s. Second of all, he said at the end of the video, these are always going to be rare and always going to be hard to get. So that's just is what it is. And third of all, they did the general purpose shoe, which came to an unfortunate end due to, you know, some whatever. But the general purpose shoe was kind of meant to be the attainable, cheaper pair. And so they did do a run at a Nikecraft that was for everyone. And we'll see if they bring those back. But so those are my answers. They're always going to be, he said it, they're always going to be rare, always going to be hard to get. Already working on 4.0s, so if you struck out this time or didn't do enough to earn them, maybe next time around you'll want them enough to do all that stuff. And then, yeah, maybe they'll bring back the general purpose shoe, which is, you know, meant to be an attainable, lesser version of this. You know, it is expensive. It was $275 plus shipping, plus tax in Southern California. It was over $300 for these. So I'm wondering if, you know, the construction and the packaging, you know, charge up, sure. But I'm guessing a lot of that price point went to, you know, creating that app, managing that app, the distribution system. That couldn't have been cheap. I can tell that these, you know, and these aren't just reprinting something that they already have. This is its own kind of shoe to a degree. So that's expensive. I still don't think these should be $275. Make them, you know, $200. Make them $200. $275 was steep, but maybe that's the price we pay for ensuring bots don't get them and that there's an app involved, all this stuff, and it's its own unique shoe. Anyways, I give these, let's give these a rating before I get out of here. I think this is, I don't know, what have I given a 10? Like the Unions. I love this colorway. I don't know, if these don't get a 10, I don't know what does. I want to give these a 10. I'm going to give these a 10. I was thinking about going slightly lower than a 10, but I'm going to give these a 10 out of 10. These are a great shoe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the contest. Resale prices are holding at like pretty high. I think now that these have come out, they're around 900,000. So people are asking for over 1,000. People are actually buying them and selling them though around 900. Crazy. I really like them. If you stuck around to the whole video, let me know in the comments that you stuck around this whole time. I appreciate you. Subscribe. Hit me up for what else you want to see, and we'll catch you on the next one.